Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin, and I want to welcome you here. I started this channel about 2 months ago, and it is really about the journey. I have been on a 5-year journey that I left a long-term marriage, and I left with nothing, and I had enough. We had gone through bankruptcy, eviction, and then my father died all in a 3-month period. And when I was going through all this, I had no one to really turn to. And I was looking on YouTube for any supportive videos that I could find, and there weren't any. So I decided that maybe I should make a narrative on how hard and challenging it has been to survive all on my own. And so I started this channel, and I am here today to give you the 5 ways that I self heal that I've worked on for the last 5 years. So I hope you stay around and you can hear the 5 things that helped me along and help me gain my power and my strength back to become whole again and the person that I knew that I used to be when I was a single woman and living, on my own and a strong, courageous woman. So I want to give you the 5 things that I have done to make myself whole again. So stick around and I'll show you what I did. All right, the number one thing, self-love. Finding an appreciation for your value, your worth. Yes, finding out that your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts matter. Self-respect, giving back to yourself. It's okay to give to others, but when you're giving and it's not reciprocated, that you start forgetting about yourself. So it's finding that value, that you are worthy of being valued. You are worthy of that self-love. Many times when we get involved with our lives and we become parents and we are taking care of our loved ones, that we put our needs aside. And that's when the self-love starts to deteriorate. And so that is very important, finding self-love. So appreciating the value of you, your worthiness, and focusing on that. And knowing that it matters that you give back to yourself. It's okay to give to others, but keep something for yourself. Take time to breathe for yourself. Find a sanctuary for yourself. My sanctuary actually used to be the gym. That's where I would go, and that was the one place that I didn't hear the phone ringing, or I didn't hear mommy, or I didn't hear my name called for one thing or another. And so my gym, I always called my sanctuary. So find a sanctuary or just find your way to self-love. So that's my first one. My number 2 method of self-healing is meditation. Meditation is fabulous. It's kind of like a medical cure without taking medicine. And there's so many different types of meditation today. It's not sitting around and just going for hours. It's in any version or method that works for you. I had never been someone who meditated. In fact, it was challenging for me to even start. I started with 5 minutes, and I've worked up to about 30 minutes. I could do about 30 minutes at the most, because after 30 minutes, I started thinking, there are the things I got to get done. I got to roll. I got to go. And so, and I find my mind drifting off to those things I have to do. So, there's so many different types of meditation that you can find on YouTube. Also, you can find transcendental meditation, sound meditation. You can find sound baths, guided meditations. There's wind chime meditations. There's you can hear wind, the sea, rain, all types of meditation. And so, and meditation also could be when you're walking in nature. I mean, it's what I call being with self and soul. And self and soul is different than prayer. Prayer is when you have an intention, and it is usually a transactional intention, in either requesting something or thanking for something. But self and soul is when you're having a constant conversation with either God or the universe. I intertwine the two. To me, it's the same. So when you are with self and soul, that's when you're talking to God in the universe, and they could be talking back to you because you're giving them the moment and the platform to speak to you. So it's what I call self and soul. So that's a type of meditation I also do. And when you're just alone by yourself and your own thoughts, that's when the universe is listening. So having a dialogue, which I call self and soul. So meditation, self and soul, and just taking time out to be alone with your own thoughts. So meditation is number 2. All right, number 3, Reiki healing or energy healing. Some people call it Reiki, some people call it energy healing. I really approve of Reiki healing. Now, some of you may think it's a little woo-woo, as my ex would say. However, it balances your energy. It balances your chakras. It starts giving you clarity and peace. It also is really good for clearing ancestral karma. And ancestral karma is karma that we carry. They carry from our DNA and our ancestry. And it's trying to break patterns of ancient behavior that we don't want to carry into this lifetime. So, in full disclosure, Reiki saved my life. When I was so down and depressed, I was kind of like in the abyss of sadness, depression, hopelessness, which many of us get after such cataclysmic loss, which I had. And I felt like I could not pull myself out of depression. So where I lived, I met a Reiki healer, and she really helped me. I started seeing her consistently because I believe that you do not get anything really accomplished if you're not consistent with your behavior or treatment. And so I changed as a person. She started clearing out my energy and my karma, and I was getting my strength and power back. I was becoming the old person that I used to be, full of strength, full of conviction, full of, I want to say power, but I meant really courage, lots of courage, and started a whole new path that I can handle what I had gone through, I can conquer it, and I can rise again. So it gave me a strength that I thought was gone. So it was so beneficial for myself. And the Reiki healer I used turned out to be fabulous. And if you're interested in using her, her information will be down on the bottom of my information on my channel. And she was fabulous. I see her, I still actually have energy healing from her now and then, and I do it via Zoom. And it helps me a lot. It helps me give me a lot of clarity. So I highly recommend Reiki or energy healing, because that can make you whole again as it made me whole again. So I highly recommend that. And so you can also get Reiki healing on YouTube, and you can also do Reiki healing on yourself if you're interested. There are many channels on YouTube that teach you how to do your own Reiki healing. So Reiki healing, energy healing will help make you whole again. So that is the third thing that helped me become self-healed. All right, now for the fourth thing that helped me become whole again and strong again and to self-heal. And many of you may not enjoy hearing this, but it was exercise. Yes, exercise is great for your overall well-being, period. Just saying it right now. I know a lot of you don't want to exercise, but it doesn't have to be the high impact, stressful, running 5 miles a day. You could do yoga, you could do Pilates, you could do Tai Chi. Walking is wonderful. There are so many low impact that you could do. You could take a walk in nature, walk on the beach. It's very healing, but exercise is good for your overall health and well-being. Not only does the fresh oxygen ignite your endorphins, which is our natural hormone in your brain, but it also keeps your weight down, your blood sugar down, blood pressure down. So I cannot stress enough. I've always exercised. I used to belong to a gym, which was my sanctuary, like I said before. And so not only did I have sanctuary with self and soul, I was staying in shape. And I never looked at working out as a selfish thing. I always looked at it as a giving thing, actually, because if I weren't in good shape, I could not give to my family. So it was really adamant that I stayed in good shape, and I have just carried that on. And why wouldn't I keep doing it? Because the one thing exercise does is that it brings new oxygen into your brain, which gives you clarity for better thought. It clears your mind. I did some of my best thinking at the gym on the treadmill, and I do my best thinking sometimes walking on the beach or in nature. So I highly recommend exercise. It's a really, like I said, everyone knows exercise is like really an important thing in our lives. So I'm just going to, I'm just going to substantiate what everyone says about exercise. Exercise is so necessary, and the benefits you get out of it are always going to outweigh like the little bit that you got to put into it. So I highly recommend exercising, and don't pass this one up because it's really important. So that is number 4 on my list for self-healing. All right, now we're now to number 5. What is the 5th thing to do for self-healing? Hobbies. Get into hobbies that fulfill your heart, fulfill your cup, fulfill your soul. Do things you enjoy to do to make you happy. Pick things that are new that you've never done. I'm thinking of actually starting to do watercolors because I thought that would be fun. It's low impact. I don't have to invest that much. And I think I would like it because it's very visual. It's aesthetic, which I love. So hobbies that make you happy. It could be just hiking. It could be bowling. It could be making jewelry, golfing. It could be anything. And also start, maybe there was a hobby that you did when you were a teenager or a young kid and that you didn't do for a long time, and just pick it up again. So when I was a young girl, one of the big things in my family was everyone had to learn to knit, crochet, embroider, sew, clothing. And so I have taken those skills in my life. And so I became a probably more predominant knitter. And so in my youth, I didn't knit all the time. But then life happened. I started working in New York City after college, and then I was on Park Avenue for years until I met my husband, got married, and then I had babies, and then I had no time to knit. So knitting got just pushed aside. Didn't knit for years. So when I turned 40, I thought, you know what? I'm going to promise myself I'm going to get back into that hobby that I really enjoyed, because I love to create things and I have a very creative side to myself. So at 40 years old, I went to a yarn store, got materials, got a pattern, and I knitted my first sweater for myself that I hadn't knitted for like 20 years. And now I'm back into knitting, and I knit regularly, and I'm getting into crocheting. So pick something maybe you did when you were in youth and bring it back. And so something, but whatever fulfills your soul and makes you happy, feed yourself, feed your own soul, and do what you enjoy in life. And it doesn't have to be all the time, but once in a while, if you just do something you really enjoy, it really fills your heart. So do hobbies. And also what's really also good about hobbies is that if you do suffer from depression, which a lot of people do, hobbies are a great distraction to get through that depression. They are wonderful, because if you're having a depressive moment, well, you know what? I'm going to change gears and I'm going to go bowling. I'm going to go walking. It changes gears, and hopefully it changes your thought patterns. So I highly recommend walking. Walking is healthy, fresh air. You're in nature, and exercise. It's great. So I highly recommend anyone take up a hobby, or a new hobby, or old hobby, but a hobby. Find an interest. So that is my 5th one, hobbies. So those are the 5 things that brought me back to self-healing and becoming whole again. And I want to share them with you. So maybe that can help you. I want to say goodbye to everybody here, and thank you for joining me. I hope you come back to my next video, and maybe give me a subscribe, give me a like or a comment, and look at my other videos. I hope to see you back here again. My channel is Follow the Sun Journey. And what I do on the side is I'm a psychic medium. So I have a website called Follow the Sun Tarot. And that's what I do. I talk to a lot of dead people, and I use tarot cards. And that's what I have been doing for the last 5 years of my life, and developing that. And I hope to see you again. And if you are on a hard journey yourself, I'm wishing you light and love. and just be the author of your own story. You have the power to change your life if you want to. Goodbye, everyone. Take care.